Oral questions. The first name of the Right Honourable Chris Hipkins.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Prime Minister. Does he stand by all of his government's statements and actions?
Yes,
Prime Minister.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. Yes, and especially our actions to rebuild the economy, given the economic mismanagement of the previous government. This is a government that is on the side of working New Zealanders, and the progress that we are making by offering tax relief for the first time in 14 years, having inflation at 2.2%, to have wages growing faster than inflation for the first 4 quarters of this government versus 13 under the last one, where it went backwards, having the OCR and interest rates down, having actually business sentiment and confidence up and consumer confidence up. We're making good progress, long way to go, but we're on the right track.
Supplementary question. Does he stand by his claim, quote, "We haven't had a single rent increase. It's been stable rents over the last 12 months, end quote." If so, how does he reconcile that with Statistics New Zealand's annual rent inflation figure of 4.5% over that time, over twice the rate of headline inflation?
Because that is the case. We have actually had stable rents under this government versus $180 per week under Labor. Our source of data from memory is the tenancy bond data.
So is he saying that Statistics New Zealand is just wrong?
I'm saying that we've had stable rents based off the data that we've been using compared to the $180 per week increase under his government.
Supplementary question. Given he promised New Zealanders as a result of reintroducing interest deductibility for landlords rents would decrease, how is rents going up 4.5% during his tenure as Prime Minister, something for New Zealanders to celebrate?
I find it ironic from that member getting lectured about rent increases. Don't you think it's so? $180 per week it went up under his government. We have stable rents under this government. Why is that? Because we've taken the costs off landlords. We've actually got the balance right between tenants and landlords, and we've pulled the Bright Line test back to 2 years. I just say to that member, rents are stable. They went up $180 under his government. We're doing the opposite.
True.
Close walk.
Can the Prime Minister please define what he means by stable rents and if that includes increasing rents at double the rate of CPI inflation?
I'm not sure where you're getting your data from as the member. I just say to you, I'm getting my data from the tenancy bond data, from the tenancy...
Yeah, just right at the beginning of today's question time should establish that we're going to be a little bit more cautious about the barracking and interjection. Interjection, rare and reasonable. Outright barracking, not acceptable. The Right Honourable Chris Hipkins.
Crikey. Mr Speaker, will he guarantee that the new inter-island ferries Cabinet has agreed to fund will cost less than the $551 million contract with Hyundai that his government cancelled? If not, why not?
Well, I can guarantee that member they will cost less than the $3.2 billion he let that project grow out to. That'll be less than that.
Supplementary question, the Right Honourable Winston.
Could the Prime Minister tell us whether there's any connection between the fall of the 50-year dynasty in Syria and so many opposition members having a Damascus experience on their own parties ruling this country?
Much as that might be a fascinating answer, we're not going to hear it. When the House is ready.
Supplementary question.
Yeah, just when the House settles itself.
Will he assure the New Zealand public that his government will not liberalise the sale and supply of military-style semi-automatic weapons? If not, why not?
We haven't had that conversation in government, but I can assure you we are focused on improving public safety.
Supplementary question. Does he agree with his Deputy Prime Minister, Winston Peters, that he is struggling in the job of Prime Minister? And if he doesn't, why should New Zealanders respect his leadership when his own deputy clearly doesn't?
Well, I don't agree with that, but I just say to you, members, New Zealand public can see that this is a government that's getting the work done. They can see that inflation's down. They can see that interest rates are down. They can see that crime is down. And compared to the ungodly mess that that government left us, they can see we're making progress. That's why they think the country's heading in the right direction, not the wrong direction as it was under your government.